day now. There.
What can I do when I'm stuck inside you? This cell of ice and fire, what blood red death, lost in desire, smell of life.
What's up? What's up? What's up? But I don't know what the deal is with the duck. But anywho, a whole damn enchilada podcast. Rick Poulton, Ryan Inman, and our special guest down below from the Bloody Essentials podcast. We got Ethan Noyes. I think you say your last name. Did I do it right?
That's correct. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Hey, how's it going, brother?
Thanks, man.
It's happening.
So yeah, we've had your two other co-hosts on at various times. So we finally got the whole team on. And figured you'd be ideal for this since Halloween is your favorite franchise. I'm correct in saying that, right?
Well, it's my favorite movie. I don't know if it's my favorite franchise.
Oh, okay.
But it is my favorite movie.
I imagine the 78 film. I mean, no spoiler. You know, we're gonna
no spoilers, but you'd be right. So
yeah, that one is it's pretty good.
It's pretty good. It's one of the best movies of all time. But the way we're going to do this is we're going to rank these from 13 to 1 because there's 13 films. We're going to, even the bad ones, we got to talk about all of them. And we'll do like a round robin. We'll start with you eventually in a minute. But when we start, we'll start with you and you'll give us your 13th rated, whichever one you think is dead last. And then we'll go in a circle. Ryan, do you got a pen and paper handy to keep track? And then we'll do...
No.
All right. We did this with the Friday the 13th one, and we had two people on for that. I tried to get another person. So we had this one guy that was like commenting on all the videos anytime we did one of the rankings for the films. And I reached out to him and said, "Hey, you want to come on and do this with us?" And he said yes. Then he said he couldn't do it the time we were going to do it, and I didn't hear back from him again. So who knows? I sent him a link anyway. Maybe he'll pop in. Who knows?
Awesome.
But what Ryan's going to do is he's going to keep track of all of our things, and if you're familiar with the way they rank the college football teams, that's when we're going to get a definitive ranking.
No,
that's not the word. Yeah, he likes there's another word.
The aggregate ranking.
The aggregate ranking. This guy with his fancy words.
It's your library lesson for the day. We got it out the way early.
There you go.
This guy. So. Before we recently rewatched all of these and talked about each one of them, reviewed each movie, and if you would have asked me then, to rank them, it would have been a very, very different ranking.
Me too.
My number one would have been the same, and I think all of our number ones, like I said, spoiler alert,
right?
Certain it's going to be everybody's number one, but I had my 13th, and we'll get to it, but my 13th film. Actually, if I would have did a ranking prior, I was telling Ryan before we went on, it would have been in the upper middle, and it's dead last. So it overtook what most people's dead last film is.
I got a pretty good idea what that might be.
But nevertheless, we might as well start. Go ahead, Ethan. What is
we're gonna jump right into this thing.
Yeah, why not? You got something else want to cover? Talked about? No?
We'll see how much time we have. We'll get to it.
All right. Okay. So, Ethan, what is your least favorite?
Least favorite out of all of the Halloween movies?
All 13. And you can't keep track of the numbers because they stopped numbering them, I think, at 6.
Right.
Yeah.
I think this one is utter garbage. It's freaking terrible. Resurrection.
And that was my least favorite until we did this rewatch. It moved up. I'm not going to tell you how much, but it did move up.
Okay.
Yeah, this movie it's trash, man. It's
Yeah,
poorly shot. It's dark. The acting is horrible.
horrible.
It I don't know, man. I've seen fan films that are better.
Definitely,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Right on.
Yeah, Buster Rhymes should stick to rapping
And
for sure.
this series does have rappers in it that actually turned in good performances. was not
Absolutely
one.
correct.
Yeah, this movie sucks.
This movie sucks.
Yeah.
You don't add anything. Right.
I didn't have it at 13.
Oh, you didn't? So what did you have at 13, Ryan?
Oh, it's my turn already?
Why not?
Okay, well, let me preface this by saying bark, bark, bark. See, they're already upset, and I'm gonna piss a lot of people off when I do this, and I don't care. It's 49% my show. My least favorite Halloween film, and I say Halloween film, is Halloween 3: Season of the Witch, because it's not a fucking Halloween film.
Ah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, he was gonna do that.
Now, are there movies better films? Is this a better film than some other ones I have higher? Of course. Is it a better Halloween film? No. It has nothing to do with the mythology. I understand what they were going for.
Right.
But when you're a person, 1982, you go in the theater, you see this, you're expecting to see who and you don't. That's the way we rate these things, not what happened 40 years later, revisionist history and all that. No. Based on walking out the theater in 1982, I was only 2 years old. But if this movie pissed a lot of people off, it would have pissed me off. I actually do think it's not a bad movie. I know it's has a huge cult following now. It does. I don't like that people compare it to Friday the 13th Part 5, though, because you can't, because that actually continues the story of Jason Tommy Jarvis. It has something to do. It fits between 4 and 6. This has no place in this franchise, especially with the whole thing became about Michael and Jamie and then Laurie again. This movie doesn't fit. It's not a Halloween movie. It's my least favorite.
Right on. So when we reviewed that one, and I was wondering, I'm gonna ask you like I asked Ryan too, if Halloween 2 never happened, and this was Halloween 2, and then we kept going, would that? And I don't know where this is on your list, this movie, but would that make the film better to you and make more sense to you, or was Michael Myers that dominant of a character, even in just the first film, that you would have still expected him in the sequel?
I definitely still would have expected him in the sequel.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Right on.
I understand what they were doing and why they did it, but if 2 wouldn't have been there, I still would have expected to see Michael Myers. So
that just cements my opinion even more.
Right.
Yeah.
And we talked about that when we reviewed that movie. I was just curious what his thoughts were.
Oh yeah.
What's up? Award-winning St. John's, Michigan Jason in the house. He says, "What's up, Rick, Ryan, and Ethan? How you doing, Rob?"
what's happening, man?
All right. So on to me, my 13th worst, least favorite, however you want to say that, is Rob Zombie's Halloween, the first one. And like I said, I would have had this ranked at least 5 if I would have not watched them again before this, because I really thought I liked that movie. I really did. I thought it was a good remake, and then I just watched it. And my biggest problem with it was the cringy dialogue. I guess when I watched it the first time, which I thought was longer ago than it was, but when did that come out? 2007?
2007.
Yeah, so I was
27, 28.
27, yeah, and I was thinking I was still a teenager, so I should have been more mature than I was, I guess, but I wasn't. And
we still should be, but what's that got to do with it?
Well, I think I'm a little bit more mature than I was when I first watched it. But no, yeah, the cringy dialogue, the whole white trash family. The only thing that I did like about it, and I don't even know if I liked it, because was Michael Myers, how brutal he was, how he was the most scary Michael Myers. He was the least like Michael Myers at the same time.
Right.
So I don't know, but for me, the upon the rewatch, it was absolutely horrible. Absolutely.
I will say Tyler Mane was a beast in that movie.
Yeah, he was cool, man. I did like him, and that was one of Ryan's top 5 things. I'm pretty sure. which was hard to find in that movie top 5 things. And but yeah, it's really bad. That one and I was going to, as we were going, to say that the IMDb ranking and the budget and how much they made. That one was a 6.0 on IMDb, $15 million budget, and it brought in $80 million.
Yeah.
So,
well, that was marketed like no Halloween film before.
Right.
Yeah.
Like remakes were like that came out right in the boom of that time when remakes really started to be everywhere.
And Michael Myers was gone for a while. We didn't have him, so
yeah. And the last time he was here, especially according to Ethan and maybe me too, wasn't such a good. Didn't leave a good taste in your mouth.
And yes, and also Rob Zombie was at the height of his game.
Yeah, he was hot. I'm not a fan of his. As we discussed on Ethan's show, we actually talked about this one.
Yeah,
we each picked a remake we liked and we didn't. This was actually the one that I didn't. This was one of my picks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, was this film? Yeah, I didn't have it at 13 dead last like you, but I'm glad you came to your senses and moved it way down because fuck this movie.
It's bad. It's bad. On that note,
so what's your 12, Rick?
Well, no, it'd be his 12.
Oh, we're gonna go back. We're gonna keep going.
Yeah, just keep it in order because we get confused. It's very easy to confuse me.
Okay.
All right. Me too. All right. My 12 is Rob Zombie's H2.
Oh,
that movie sucked.
All right. And that would have been my number 12, but it moved up in my rankings upon the rewatches. I'm not going to say how much. I'm not going to say how much, but it did move up. And so that was a 4.8 on IMDb. It had a $15 million budget and made $39 million. So all these movies made money.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And that's why they'll keep making them. It's not really done. They'll come up with something else.
Yeah, but, this one actually moved up my rankings too in the rewatch.
Right.
I still don't love it, but I like it more than I liked the first Rob Zombie's Halloween.
So Ethan, what was one of the reasons why you got this ranked so low? What did you not like about it?
That whole Sherry Moon zombie ghost thing or spirit, whatever I was like, listen, this is ridiculous. You can put her in the movie some other way, but that's just bullshit. So.
See, and my problem with that, and especially upon the rewatch, I didn't really so much have a problem with Michael Myers seeing a ghost version of his mother. That was okay. He's fucking insane. Things are going to happen. But when Laurie's seeing her,
yeah. Right.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm done with it. I'm done with this. This is the most ridiculous thing in the world.
Yeah.
Because even if they're both crazy, and I'll give you that, they're both crazy. They're both from the same bloodline. They both got problems. They're not going to have the same hallucinations. Hallucinations? Right. However you say that word. They're not going to see the same shit.
Yeah, I was actually surprised how much more I liked this than I originally thought because I didn't like the first one at all. I saw it in the theater day one. I told the story on our long form, so I'll spare the details. But this one I liked even less on first watch, but it flip-flopped. It flip-flopped for me on rewatch. Don't love it again, but I like that this isn't a remake because I love the first one so much. Any remake of it is just not a good idea.
Agreed.
But this was a whole new thing, like its own thing, and I kind of appreciated it for that.
Right on.
And I love the brutality of it, man. That's might be the most brutal Michael Myers we've ever seen.
Yeah,
absolutely.
The thing that killed it for me, and it was when he speaks at the end, though. Like,
yeah, he should never talk.
Oh, that was bad. Like, if he wouldn't have chose to do that, then I would probably like it a little bit more. But I just can't. This the first thing I think of, unfortunately, when I think of this one, and it's a huge negative. It'd be one of my least favorite things in the entire series. Like if I did a top 5 and bottom 5 of the whole series. Right. I don't know if it would be my least favorite thing at all. Actually, no, I know what that would be. But it would be up there.
Right on. Well, try to remember when you get to the movie that your least favorite thing is.
Yes. Oh, it's not far away.
All right. So go ahead and
be here, though.
Your 12th least. Oh, go ahead. You saying something else?
Yeah, my 12th. Yeah, I was segueing into that. My 12th least favorite is Resurrection.
As is mine.
Yeah. As is you mine. Have that at 12 as well? Okay.
I have that at 12 as well. And it was 13, but upon the rewatch, this Rob Zombie movie was just so bad. I just couldn't do it. Yeah, and yeah, the first Rob Zombie one, it's just like, and I swear like a truck driver too, but just for some reason this was just cringe. Just so people don't talk like that. I'm sorry, they just don't.
Right.
Like, I have grown up around the most hillbilly, backwoods, ghetto people in the world, and they don't talk like that. It's not real.
Back to Resurrection, though. My least favorite thing about that is they just made Michael Myers look like a pussy.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just, even with all the goofy shit, and I'm not into found footage, and even though it's not purely found footage, it's kind of going on in the background or whatever. Don't like that thing anyway. But yeah.
Misty Daly says hi. How you doing?
Nothing redeemable about Resurrection.
No, not at all. And you guys feel free to put your list in the comments. Where do you rank these movies? Do you agree? Do you disagree? And yeah, just go from there. So I guess since mine was 12, we'll skip to you and your 11th least favorite Halloween.
Blumhouse's Halloween Kills.
Okay. And I'm surprised that Ends isn't last, which most people have it last, but okay.
Yep.
Right.
I did a rewatch, and I just couldn't get over the Anthony Michael Hall and I think he's a great actor. He should have never taken that. I thought he sucked in it. Sorry if you ever see this dude, but it was, and the Evil Dies Tonight. I want to jump in front of a bus. I hate it.
If they said it one time and it was in
one time, would have been great.
It would have been great, and you could have put it on T-shirts, and people would have loved it.
And the one time should have been when Anthony Michael Hall said it.
Right, and that should have been
Correct.
it.
That was good.
And you could have put it on T-shirts, and people would have bought it. But 256 times now, if it ever goes on a T-shirt, it'll be an ironic thing, making fun of it.
Now, and all the townspeople, everybody, it was like chanting it like at a football game or something.
Yeah. Again, so not real.
It was like a fight song at like, at a football game. It was so cringy.
So was that Halloween Kills? It had a 5.5 on IMDb, $20 million budget, and this one hauled in a very impressive $133 million, and that's very impressive considering that was a COVID movie.
Yeah, it was, but it was like the first movie back.
Right, but it was released at home on Paramount or Peacock. I don't remember when.
Yeah, it was on. It was on the Cock, I believe.
It was on the Cock.
NBC, Peacock.
Yeah, it was on the Cock. Okay.
Yeah, same one as the wrestling. So I remember that, seeing it next to the wrestling on that.
Right, and so it was So consider that you can watch it at home for free, but people were itching so bad to get back into a theater that I did both. Yeah, I watched it at home and I watched it too. Righty then. So move on to Ryan, and I think we're on 11, right?
Yeah. My number 11 is Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Okay.
And it pains me to put it that high because I fucking hate this movie so much.
And that's one thing I found with these movies is, like, we did the Friday the 13th ranking recently, and when we did that, I think there's 4 movies in this series, the Halloween series, that would be below everything in the Friday the 13th series. There was 1A in this. That's it. There were some really good movies, but then there were some really bad ones. And that's what we're talking about now at the bottom of this list is the really bad ones.
Now, I will say this. As much as I don't like Rob Zombie, and everyone knows I don't like any of his movies, I don't.
Or his music, right? You're not a fan of music.
I like White Zombie. I jammed in the car the other day. It was on shuffle. Thunder Kiss 65 came on. I'm like,
I like it. It's very fun live. He blows.
Yeah, I saw him live in 1995 or 6, and they were fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But then Pantera came out right after him and blew him off the stage. But
of course. It's gonna happen,
right?
Yeah. But I will say this: I put it higher than Resurrection and Season of the Witch because with Rob Zombie's Halloween, there are a couple of things I actually did enjoy about it. Obviously, the Michael Myers portrayal is good. The soundtrack's awesome.
Yeah.
That's one thing about him I will say. Almost like a Tarantino horror version. He's very good at selecting music for his movies. But he's in the industry, and he probably
Tarantino has the ability to get certain actors that most people couldn't get because of who he knows. Right. Rob Zombie has that ability to get the rights to music because of who he knows.
Right. Yeah. It's like it was like almost like a Dazed and Confused like soundtrack. It was full of like so many banger old songs, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, that
So
I did like that.
So I'll give it that. It does have some qualities I liked about it, but it's still just not a good movie, man.
Now, as far as the IMDb ratings, there was let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 films that had a 6 or higher, and this was one of them.
Hold that thought. I'm gonna shut these fucking dogs up.
Okay, well, you do that. You do that. He's gonna disappear for a second.
No issue with that.
So we were on number 11, and my 11 is going to be very controversial. It's going to be very controversial. This is one that a lot of people are going to have a lot higher. And again, if we did this list prior to me rewatching these films, this would have been considerably higher on my list. And Ryan actually missed the review for this movie because he was riding roller coasters at Cedar Point. So we got our good friend JP Cross from A Killer's Confession to come in and fill in for him, and found out that both of us like this movie a whole lot less than we thought we did. But 1981's Halloween 2.
You're fucking insane.
I have that 11. I did not like it. I don't like hardly anything about it. I mean, is it an okay slasher movie that you could throw on and yeah, it does what it's supposed to do? Yeah, but just it was nowhere near as good as the first one. It was, I don't know, man. I just didn't dig it, man.
See, and this is wild. I don't know.
I said it's going to be controversial. I knew it would be.
That's crazier than me having 3 last, in my opinion. That's
well,
and I'll tell you what.
I mean, of course it is, because your logic for having 3 last makes sense.
Right, of course it does.
I ain't mad at you for that. I mean, I love that movie, but
now this guy here is probably even a bigger Friday the 13th fan than me, and that's saying a lot. Halloween 2 felt more like a Friday the 13th film than any of the Halloween movies. I got that vibe from it.
Yeah, kind of, like I said, I still like it and I'll watch it. Mm-hmm. But it's just one of them's got to be 11. It was 11. I don't know, but it has 6.5 rating on IMDb, $2.5 million budget. It made $25 million. You know, it did well, but Carpenter wrote it drunk. He didn't really care about it, and it was evident that he didn't care about it. There was like 1 good kill in the movie, 2 good kills maybe. It was okay. That's it. They shoot the guy. This is girls. All right, Lori's never touched a gun in her life. We know that. And she pops this guy in each one of his eyeballs. Not just a lucky shot in one of them. Come on, man. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It was ridiculous.
It's a great visual. It's a great visual.
the teardrops. Come on. Yeah. Yeah, and I guess, that's an ongoing theme in this series is like, this shit would never happen. I know these are fantasy, but come on, man. Make me believe it a little bit.
How crazy is he to have it that low, Ethan?
Insane. You're my guy, but that's insane.
That's crazy.
Below even Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Oh, yeah, I don't know how you did that.
Wow! I didn't think about that. I'm thinking of, man, you got I don't even want to rattle it off and give away. Man, I'm thinking of, dude, my next one, and I'm going to list when it gets back to my turn alone. There's no way that movie is better than 2.
Okay.
But we'll get there.
We'll get there. So
we're going to talk about 2 more for sure. But
yeah, it's going to come up on your. I mean, everybody, we got to rank them all. So
it might not be for a while, though.
I have a feeling.
I think it's going to be for a while.
So, which is good because we'll forget all of this and then we'll start anew. Then
gotcha.
All right, next up on your list, Ethan.
All right, 10 is Halloween Ends.
Okay,
Halloween Ends. Okay.
Yeah. I did not reviewing these. I hated it when I first seen it. Mm-hmm. I left the theater and I was like, screw Michael Myers, screw all these. I'm done. That's it. I'm never watching this again. I'm done with horror. This is bullshit.
And a lot of people had that thought.
I was like, this is ridiculous.
Man's gonna rage quit a whole genre, man.
I was that pissed. And I watched it again when it came out and I was like, okay, it's not as bad as I thought. It's not good. I don't think it's good, but it's not as bad. Maybe I blew up a little bit when I shouldn't have. So,
well, that was rated a 5 on IMDb with a $20 million budget. It made $104 million, so it didn't do as well as Kills, but it did very well. I think the biggest problem with Ends was it wasn't what anybody wanted at that time. If this was a movie sandwiched in the middle somewhere, like Halloween 5 or Friday 13th 5 was,
right.
And then then they did something else. Like I was telling Ryan, like in my opinion, they should have killed Michael Myers in this movie, like they killed Jason in 4, right? And in the next movie, because this is obviously a Friday 13th Part 5 ripoff. I mean,
sure.
And then they would have in the next movie did this and even hid the fact that it was Corey a little bit more, so you would have thought like who did it, who was it, blah blah blah. It would have been accepted a lot better. It would have been accepted a lot more. It didn't do justice to Laurie or Michael at all. I mean, it just took all the focus off of them and what was supposed to be their swan song. And I think it really, really just pissed people off.
I think Ethan was absolutely justified for his initial reaction to it because I couldn't stand it either. I still don't like it. It's going to come up soon again, but not right away. Spoiler, but no, it's not good. It is, though. I will say this: my least favorite of that trilogy.
Okay.
Which spoils a couple other ones, but
right.
It wasn't for me, and it wasn't for him because he had kills lower. So
yeah, you're right. He did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm actually surprised that this ended up at 10, this high for me, because I hate this movie and they're barking like crazy again. No one's home. So
we're just gonna deal with it. We're gonna deal with it. It's all good.
No one's home, so they go.
No big deal.
They bark at everything when no one's home. all I could do go, hey, knock it off, and they shut up for about 5 minutes, and then they start up again. They see a shadow. So anyway,
it is.
My number 10, and this movie is garbage, and we kind of disagreed on this during our review of it, Rick. I think it's absolute garbage, and it ruined one of the best things ever in this series, and they fucking ruined it, and that's Halloween 5. I hate that movie.
Yeah.
I hate that movie.
I do not.
I don't hate it. It's
not
my favorite. It's not my favorite, but I don't hate it.
What was it that it ruined that you just...
The ending to part 4, which was fucking amazing.
Right.
Okay.
They had...
I remember. I know what you're talking about now. Okay,
they put it right on a tee, and they swung and they missed at it, and then they threw and they dug a hole and buried the tee in the ground and threw the ball backwards. Like they fouled it off. Like it was set up so perfect, and they ruined it. And there's more to it than that too. It's also like the worst looking Michael Myers ever.
Oh God, yes.
4 is pretty bad as well, but good movie.
No,
good movie. The look of Michael Myers.
Right.
4 is pretty bad, but in 5, that just takes a fucking cake. I don't like it. The whole scene in the car too, where she stops at the fucking gas station and just I hate that.
4.9 on IMDb, one of the lowest rated.
Yeah.
$5 million budget and the least profitable of all the films. $11.5 million. Whether you do it by percentage or by just actual dollars, it was the least profitable.
Good. I'm glad it has something worth something labeled to it. Because I don't know. I think since it's been now 35 years or so since that one's came out, people have softened up on it, but it sucks, man. I'm sorry.
It's the third lowest rated on IMDb. Resurrection is worse. Resurrection's worse, and we haven't talked about the one that's right under it, but we will. So
yeah, we will.
Resurrection was the only one to get a sub for it. It was a 3.9. So it's mutually agreed that Resurrection is the worst.
Yeah.
Most people.
I would think so.
Like real quick, has anybody, some people might not absolutely hate that movie, but have you ever met anyone that's like, oh, Halloween Resurrection is awesome?
Never.
Have you ever met that guy or girl?
No.
Never.
Me neither.
Never.
Oh, you know what? Yes, actually I did. Tiki liked it. Because why wouldn't he, right?
Why does that make sense? But again, his favorite movie is The Toxic Avenger.
Right. Yeah. So this guy's weird. He's got some weird tastes.
And now a Toxic Avenger entertains me, but it's not good.
Right.
So, but no, okay, yeah. Halloween 5 is my number 10. It's on you, Rick. Get me out of this.
All right. So number 10 is just like 11, Halloween 2, except for this time Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I do like it better than and I didn't before this rewatch, but I like it better than the 1981 Halloween 2. I thought it was a pretty decent movie. I thought the kills were good. I mean, it didn't have the super cringy dialogue of the first Rob Zombie film. I hated that Laurie could see the ghost of Michael's mother. It was just absolutely ridiculous. But it was a different take on the whole thing without totally ruining everything. You know, he put his own spin on it. Like, and I thought it's okay. It's okay. Wasn't horrible. Yeah, I liked it. I mean, I didn't. Yeah, I think I gave it a D, but it was better than the Fs I gave the ones before this.
Wow, I'm actually going to have a Rob Zombie film ranked higher than you because I haven't rattled this one off yet.
Oh, no, you haven't.
Oh.
Wow. But okay, so we've already really, talked about that a lot. So we'll go with Ethan and your number 9?
My number 9 is Halloween 2018 by Blumhouse.
Okay, so you had all 3 of those in a row.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
All right. And what did you not like about this one? Because this one is pretty highly regarded by most people. It's got the second highest score of all the films. It's 6.5 on IMDb, $10 million budget, and it made the most by far of any of the films at $260 million.
Yeah, I hated number 1. I know he's dead, but Loomis is Loomis.
Absolutely horrible.
Yeah, we can't. Daniel Pleasance is Loomis. No, nobody else. I understand it was another doctor, but we shouldn't even try. You should have went somewhere else. I hated the British newspaper people. Their voice is just. If you listen to our podcast, their voice is just great on my nerves. I wanted to punch them repeatedly in the face, and just the whole thing. I was like, I get it. Laurie was stalked, but she's living in this compound. No, I didn't. It was probably my favorite out of all of them. You know,
out of all of the Blumhouse,
the Blumhouses, but it was still. If they would have never made any of those, I'd have been okay with it.
All right.
I mean,
yeah, I can see that, and a lot of people had similar ideas, but when it first came out, a lot of people, and again, it might have been just the whole lack of Michael Myers for so long that people really did appreciate and like it. But then now you're hearing more and more people. Did you feel that way when you first seen it, or did it like get worse upon rewatches? Because that's what happening.
It got worse upon rewatches. When I first seen it, I was like, "Oh, great, Michael Myers is back, and this is wonderful." And I rewatched it, and I was like, "No, this is shit." So,
right on.
It's like one of those ones for me, and it's. I like a lot of things about it, but there's some things I don't. And I'll tell you right now, we mentioned this on our long form. That whole opening pre-credit sequence feels like a bad cold open to a weird sci-fi TV show. More than like a slasher film.
Yeah.
With all the other like inmates, patients, whatever. Like,
yeah, right. Yeah. Because again, that wouldn't be real.
No, that did not set the tone well at all. And it was just weird and off-putting, and why?
Yeah,
the prison itself and the way they're out there with like the checkerboard thing.
Yeah,
that looked like something you would see in like a Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah, it felt like I said this on a long. It felt like a bad episode of Black Mirror or something.
Yeah. Right on. So Ryan, what is your ninth least favorite, whatever?
It's going to be Halloween Ends.
Halloween Ends.
Yeah.
Is that the first time the Blumhouse film has appeared on your list?
Yeah. Okay. It's my least favorite of those 3. There's really not much to say about it. I thought it would be lower, but I just hate Halloween 5 and Rob Zombie so much. And
fair enough.
It was as low as I could put it. And honestly, this is the last one. everything from 8 and up, I think, is
At least decent.
And something I could just sit down and watch anytime. This one, though, even if I'm watching the other two Blumhouse, David Gordon Green movies, I could skip this one.
Right on. So Missy Daly says it's a lot of Halloweens. Yeah, there's 13 of them, and we had just on the podcast reviewed all 13 movies. So we decided that this episode we're going to just rank them. We wanted to do this before Halloween, but we did not get to it. Things happened, and Ryan had to ride roller coasters all month. And no, that actually helped because we did episodes during the week we normally wouldn't do, and just added. We did probably 4 extra episodes that month.
We probably did more.
So you going to Cedar Point probably helped us get through these rather than hurt us.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah. So what are we on? My number 9?
Yeah.
My number 9 is the second lowest rated out of all of these on IMDb with a 4.7, had a $5 million budget, $15 million. Halloween 6, Curse of Michael Myers.
Aww.
And whichever version you pick, I mean, it's okay and it's got some good ideas. There's a great movie in there. They just didn't cut it and put it out. There's a lot I like. The producer's cut, there's a lot I like about that. There's a lot I like about the other cut, whatever it was called. And, there's good things about all of it. The look of Michael Myers, right? He looked good in this one. This is the one where he looked, we really liked the way he looked.
My favorite look besides 78 is this.
I thought so, yeah.
Yeah.
Loomis was great in it, of course. It just got a little confusing, and I think it's because of all the hands that were in, with the cut, and they would take this out. We're going to add that, change this totally. Of course, Paul Rudd was amazing in it. Yes. Wish they could have got him back for instead of what's his name for Halloween Ends or Kills rather.
Yeah,
because they tried to, but he was getting paid many, many more millions of dollars than the budget was to do Marvel movies.
Yeah, he was.
If the budget was $20 million, he was getting that himself.
Right. He was chilling in that Ant-Man costume, sitting on stacks of $100 bills.
Yeah,
and Anthony Michael Hall hadn't done anything, so he said, "You know what? I'll do it." So,
I didn't hate Anthony Michael Hall's casting at all.
It was okay. I mean,
I know Ethan wasn't a fan.
Evil Dies Tonight.
I thought it was cool. It was great they had Kyle Richards come back as herself, though. That was really cool.
That was cool.
So,
yeah, that was one good thing about the Blumhouse films is all of the people that came back. Brackey came back,
which was awesome.
The girl that she was babysitting came back. I forget her name.
Kyle Richards. I just said it.
Oh, okay.
Lindsay.
Yeah, Lindsay. Well, you said her shoot name. If you just said her name from the movie, I would have known.
Dude, she's the fucking Real Housewife. That's Kyle Richards. She has way more $100 bills than even Paul Rudd, but she did it. But she's not an A-list actress. She's a reality show person.
Right on. Okay.
I guess they set their own schedules.
So I guess we're up to number 8 already.
Yes, sir.
So go ahead with your 8th favorite.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 8 for me is 2007 Rob Zombie's Halloween.
All right. Considerably higher than we had it.
Yeah. Well, the only redeeming factor there is that it has Danielle Harris in it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And she is so friggin' fine. She could knit for 2 hours and I'd be like,
right, exactly.
I'm gonna watch this movie. So yeah.
And I was glad that he brought Danielle back. It would have been, I think it would have been interesting to bring her back as Laurie, though. I think that would be better. But
I do too.
It was cool. Like she's been in the second. Is it the second most, or Loomis has been in more? I'm not sure.
It has to be Loomis.
I think Loomis.
Yeah.
Okay, so
he's in 6 of them.
He's in 6 of them. Yeah, she's not in 6 of them. She's in
5 of them. 5. He wasn't in 3. My bad.
Yeah. He's been in 5. She's been in 4. And of course, Jamie Lee's been in the most.
Yeah.
Right.
Right on. So, what was it? We already talked about that.
Hey,
quite a
Nick
bit.
Castle's been in 4 of them.
Yes.
Yeah,
he did tie her with I remember that from when we reviewed it.
I just thought of that because he did all 3. At least had a scene in all 3 of the recent.
Yep. So Ryan, you're number 8.
My number 8 is Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Okay, so you had that the highest on everybody on the list.
I did, and man, I just enjoy it. I don't know why.
Pretty good, man, especially on the second one or the rewatch.
And a lot of people would say the opposite. I'm not a fan of his films in general, but it's my favorite Rob Zombie horror movie.
For me, it's House of Thousand Corpses because I'm a giant Texas Chainsaw fan, and that was so close to Texas Chainsaw. And he's such a Texas Chainsaw fan, and he did it justice. And I wish he'd be able to remake a Texas Chainsaw movie, and that'd be cool. And I really want to see that. But I don't like most of his movies. So.
I don't like House of Thousand Corpses. If I want to watch Texas Chainsaw, I'll watch Texas Chainsaw. Yeah. So I've had that on my shelf for 30 years. So.
Yeah. I like more Texas Chainsaw movies.
Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. We glossed over it real quick when you guys mentioned it. But just sheer brutality, it's just carnage candy. And
Which your favorite Jason Voorhees is easily the most. This was this guy was kind of like Ted White in the brutality.
My two favorite Jasons are Ted White and Derek Mears, and they're probably the two most brutal Jasons.
Absolutely the most brutal.
And this guy, he kind of reminded me of like Derek Mears and his movements.
Yeah, and he's a big dude,
motherfucker like Derek. Yeah. And in the first Rob Zombie Halloween, I didn't like how big Michael Myers was, but in this one, since it was its own thing, and he's already gone way over the top with it. Fuck it, let him be a big giant and just destroy people with his bare.
We got a fucking unicorn or whatever walking around.
Yeah, let
the white horse.
Exactly.
353 times, like it's just. Is it a good movie? No, but I am very entertained by it, man. And I was so surprised that I enjoyed it as much as I did on my rewatch. But I did.
Right on. So what number are we on? 8. And this was the last of the 4s, 4.9 on IMDb, $5 million budget. This one made 11.5 million. It's already came up because we said, yeah, that's right. This is like the least successful film of all of them, right? Right? Am I doing that right? Anyway, nevertheless, Halloween 5.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Halloween 5. I did not.
Enough, sucker.
What's it?
Took you long enough to bring this piece of shit up.
Well, in my opinion, there was 5 worse. Yeah, Halloween 5. I didn't hate it. I didn't like it anywhere near as much as 4.
Of course not.
Yeah, the weird silent Jamie Lloyd deal, that was kind of weird. The whole.
But you had this ranked above 6, dude, and we're gonna have to box over that.
This was a more cohesive thought, whether you agreed with the thought or not. It had one. 6 had 7 thoughts. It was schizophrenic. So I mean, we got ruins in the one, and that's not in this one because it sucked. And
it had fucking cigarette smoking Michael Myers in a Spirit Halloween mask. Come on.
I don't know, but yeah. So 5 was my 8. So we're on to your number 7.
My number 7 was Halloween 5.
Okay, cool. So we can do.
Yep.
Right on. Yeah. So it wasn't great. I'll watch it again.
Yeah. I usually watch 4 and 5 together.
They go together. You got to watch them together. And we'll talk about that too if we have time at the end. The different universes.
Oh God, yeah.
Which ones are the best?
They might go together, but they don't go together quite like peanut butter and jelly. Maybe like peanut butter and banana, though.
Peanut butter and banana is good, though.
Okay.
I'll eat some peanut butter and banana, buddy. Kevin Ellis from the Spooky Picture Show podcast. Did I do it right?
Yes, you got it.
All right. Yes. How's it going, brother? All right. Ryan, your number, whatever the hell number we're on.
We're on 7, and it's funny because if you look at 7, it's dead in the middle of 13. So this is what our average middle of the road movie is for the franchise.
Okay.
And that's way too high for part 5, Ethan. I'm sorry. But for me, it's actually going to be Halloween 2018.
2018. Okay.
And that's the second of the Blumhouse Halloweens I've mentioned, so we all know which one I have ranked the highest. But we'll get to that. This one, it's good. Is it great? No. I fucking hate, or I like Judy Greer. I fucking hate her in these movies.
Okay.
I think she's totally miscast. I went off about her on a whole tangent when we did these long form. She just
Judy Greer. Who is she in this?
She's the Jamie Lee Curtis's daughter.
Oh, okay.
Granddaughter was fine. The
granddaughter was good. The daughter not so much.
Judy Greer got on my fucking nerves, man. And I like her in other stuff.
Right.
Just not on here, man. It just she had like go away heat with me. Just like get off my screen, you know. But yeah, it's solid. Like I liked it, I guess, better than Ethan, but not as much as Rick.
Which is Halloween 18 is what you just said, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So this is my number 7, my middle movie, and this will be my first appearance of a Blumhouse film. The one I liked the least out of the Blumhouse films was Halloween Kills, and probably for all the reasons we said.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. I think it had the most kills out of any of the movies.
Yeah.
Should.
Yeah.
28 or something. And Bethany says she got on everyone's nerves in that movie.
Thank you for saying
yes,
that.
she did.
Yeah, I didn't like her either. But again, I liked her daughter. I liked her. Right. I mean, granddaughter, rather. I did the daughter.
I never really heard anybody mention like negative shit about Judy Greer ever before, like on a podcast or anything. And just when I rewatched these before we did the review, I'm like, I like her too, but man, why is she so bad in this movie?
Yeah.
Right on. All right, so Ethan,
but you have kills at 7, then, Rick, right?
I had kills at 7. Yep, I liked it the least out of the 3. But so all Halloween right. 6, or no, your 6th favorite Halloween film.
My 6 is The Curse of Michael Myers.
Number 6.
Curse of Michael Myers. Okay,
yeah, number 6.
Curse of Michael. So 6 was 6 on your list.
At least 6. You had it higher than 5. Thank fuck.
I don't know. I just Halloween 5 is easier to watch than 6 to me. I don't know. I didn't dig it.
Since we brought R.I.P.
What's his name? Bradford English.
Bradford English.
Yeah, there was a whole big.
Yeah.
thing last week. He passed, and they were like, did he pass? Because somebody's reporting that the guy was born in 42, and somebody guys reported him in 43, and then some were reporting him as James Bradford English, and they're like, that's not his name. And I'm like, maybe it is, but who knows? And then it's finally was confirmed by Sean Clark, who no one knows more about Halloween than Sean Clark.
Right.
Once I seen that, I knew it was legit. But yes, rest in peace.
That kid finally got him with that knife at the kitchen table.
Right.
Too soon?
Right.
Right, because his character was a complete dick.
Oh yeah, but it was awesome.
I loved to hate him.
Right.
I loved to hate him.
Now they fucked up though. They should have waited to kill him later and built it up even more. They killed him way too.
They should have let the kid kill him.
Yes.
Nah. You want Michael Myers to get him. You want him to.
Oh, the kid had Michael Myers' spirit or whatever the hell in it.
And it sucks because they never went anywhere with that. And there are some negative things about this movie. But again, you rate it as that's the most recent thing you saw. You know, that's how I approach it. I don't rate it on what happens later. So
you're right on.
But yeah, I'm glad somebody had this decently high, at least in their top half. That's cool.
Yeah.
Right on. Okay, so who is it on, Ryan?
Mm-hmm. And my number 6 is Halloween Kills. It's my favorite of the David Gordon Green / Blumhouse movies.
Okay.
And Ethan and I both had it last.
Yes. And I liked it. Probably.
What did you like about it?
I liked so much about it. I liked the kills, the brutality. I liked that Jamie Lee Curtis kind of took a backseat in this one to everybody else. And it really didn't have much to do with her. She's in a freaking hospital room the whole time.
Just like you.
Yeah. Sort of. She had a little bit more to do in that part too than this.
And in this part too, this is the only film that she was in that she did not share a scene with Michael Myers.
She didn't. That's right.
Oh.
Now, I really liked the tension in this one. I liked how it kind of cut back and forth. I loved the flashbacks to like the night of.
Oh yeah, that was
with
really
the cops
that
and
was
stuff.
cool.
I love that. I know some people don't, but I absolutely love it.
Young, what was it? What was the cop's name?
Yeah.
Great actor played him in the older version of him.
Bill Sadler.
Yeah, what was that? What was his name in the
Brackett?
movie? No.
Brackett,
It wasn't Brackett. It was the other guy.
Other guy.
He had the shot at him, but didn't take it.
Yeah,
and then
Right.
he regretted it his whole
I
life.
love that whole back.
His character was really good, and the whole
actually-
back and forth was cool.
It actually makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, Rob Zombie's backstory didn't make sense. This one does, and I like that. Him coming up to the kid on the street too, just like I saw him, loved it. Yeah, the Evil Dies Tonight is fucking stupid, and I went off on that.
If that wasn't there, or at least was there just once, it moves it up a whole letter grade.
Oh
It really does.
Oh, definitely.
If it's just a scene,
Whoever's idea that was.
if it's just a scene where they're gearing up and they, mob up and everything, camera zooms in on it.
He has that look on his
and he
face.
says the line.
Yeah, it's legendary.
Perfect.
It's legendary.
Oh, it's
Instead
still
it's a
sweet
joke.
when he does it the first time, and then
Right. Yeah, and then it's a joke.
And I love Kyle Richards' scene where she's running, and it's actually one of my favorite scenes ever in the whole franchise because, and I brought this up in the long form review, she's that kind of character where you really don't know. It's believable if she gets killed or gets away because of her provenance to everything else. So, and yeah, I thought it was interesting that one of the two of them dies and one of the other ones doesn't for the two kids that return.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because it makes sense and it could have gone either way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like it, man. I think it's probably the most popcorny
Yeah.
of the Halloween films of all of them that I could just pop a bag of popcorn, turn it on in the background and just watch kills.
Yeah.
And had some one-liners and had some humor in it too.
Yeah.
That it did.
Yeah. The opening scene too in the bar with everybody, the costume, like that's pretty cool. It gets pretty deep, but there's humor to it too.
Right on.
But yeah, I like it way more than most people I know.
And so this would be my sixth then, right?
Yes.
And Halloween Ends.
Mm.
Halloween Ends was my sixth favorite. I liked it a lot better than most people. I just, like I explained before, I don't think it fit where it was. I think a lot of people would have appreciated it more had they done it a little different. But I thought it was a well-made movie. I thought everything, they got their point across. It made sense. There wasn't, a lot of stuff that was just like stupid. They did kind of punk Michael when, Corey takes his mask. This guy, is afraid of his own shadow one minute, and the next thing you know, he's not only not afraid of Michael Myers, but he's yanking his mask off his face.
Yeah.
I mean, even a 70-year-old Michael Myers, that should have never happened.
Buster Rhymes already punked him.
Yeah, yeah, way worse.
Twice.
And that was a 45-year-old Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Give or take. So yeah, I had that at 6.
Okay.
So we're into the top 5, Ethan.
Top 5 is don't yell at me, Ryan. Halloween 3.
Okay.
No, I know. I knew you guys were gonna have it higher, and I understand why.
Yeah.
As long as you both understand why I have mine so low.
Totally.
Yeah, I completely understand that.
Yeah.
Completely understand that.
So what did you like about Halloween 3? What did you not like?
Well, obviously I didn't like that it wasn't Michael Myers.
Yeah.
But I did like the whole I was going to try something else. The masks were awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The masks are awesome. It's just here. When I only put this in here ranking this Halloween movie because you're like we're ranking all 13.
Yeah.
Because if I were going to rank Halloween movies,
you would leave it out the same.
Wouldn't be in here.
Right.
So, but I would rather watch Halloween 3, more than like Resurrection or any of the Blumhouses or any of that.
In my opinion, Halloween 3 is one of the greatest Halloween as in the holiday movie.
Correct.
You know? And when Ryan that did a 5.2 on IMDb, 2.5 million budget, 14.5 million profit. And when we discussed it, Ryan brought up some points that had me knock it down a whole letter grade, but I still love it. I never watched it. Did you watch it when it was new?
No, I didn't see it when it was new because I was young and Michael Myers wasn't in it, so I was like, screw it, I'm not going to watch it.
Right, and that was the same. Once I heard Michael Myers wasn't in it, I think I tried to watch it when it first came out on VHS in the 80s, and then it was just like, I'm a kid. I'm 4 or 5 years old. It just wasn't my thing, you know?
I was probably 6 or 7, and I saw it was coming on like HBO or Cinemax or one of the things that like in the middle of the night. And I turned it on, and I was a little kid. This was before the internet. I didn't know Michael Myers wasn't in it, so I'm watching this thing, and I just keep waiting for him to come. I'm waiting for him to come and waiting for him to come, and he never fucking comes.
Well, I had the advantage of knowing he wasn't there.
It's like a bad fucking porno. The guy never comes.
So. Jesus. Oh man.
So you want to talk about? So Rick, is this a good time to talk about the sponsorship that we did?
I was going to, but then This is a very ironic time to bring it up. I was going to bring it up in the beginning of the show, but I forgot. But yeah, we got a sponsor. It's over there right above Ryan's head somewhere. And do not hold what Ryan just said against them. But CSR Collectibles, the code for that is enchiladas. Did I spell it right in the thing? I did not. Look at this. It's enchiladas. And that's the thing from last week. Why didn't you tell me last week I fucked that up? Oh, no, because that wasn't on last week. That was on the unboxing video I did for them. And since we're talking about some of the stuff I got from them.
See, when you order from CSR Collectibles, though,
you get $5 off when you use that code.
And your package always comes on time.
Jesus. But I got the mystery envelope from them. It was supposed to come with 2 8x10s signed and authenticated by JSA and everything like that. I ended up getting 4 because a lot of times, depending, you'll get extra stuff. But I got like Dick Wieand. Oh, wow. This was the gem in the bunch was former WCW heavyweight champion David. What's his last name? You know his last name. Arquette. Jesus Christ. Then I got the Killer Clowns, all 3 of the Kyoto brothers signed. So that was awesome. Then I got this one, right? Yeah. And I got roasted for not knowing what it was. And I should have. Because I'm looking at it, I'm thinking Friday the 13th. Because they look like some characters from Friday the 13th when you just look at them, right? I did not recognize Bruce Campbell. So from Evil Dead. I did not recognize Bruce Campbell. And because I don't watch the first Evil Dead. You know that? I skip it. Because Evil Dead 2 has that whole movie already in it. And it's there, and I think they did it better in part 2.
Oh, 2 is better than 1.
Yeah. So I didn't know. But nevertheless, that was a pretty good haul. And you can get your very own mystery box or whatever from them. CSRcollectibles.com, CSR Collectibles on Facebook. Put in the promo code enchiladas and spell it properly, unlike what I did. And there you go. All right, so where we at, right?
Well, what do you get when you put in the promo code?
You get $5 off.
Right.
$5 off, yeah. $5 is $5. It's good to have $5 off.
Well, you didn't mention it the first time.
I did like you can rewind the tape and check it out. I did. When you were talking about porn stars and porn and coming and things. But nevertheless.
I don't remember that.
So who's it on? What number are we on? Let's get back to where we're at.
Top 5.
Steer this train and get it back onto the tracks.
I think Ethan's number 5 was Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, and that's where we left off.
All right, so you're number 5.
My number 5, and it was tough between 5 and 4. It was really hard for me these two who were neck and neck. But I landed on Halloween 666, The Curse of Michael Myers.
Which would have a much cooler title if they would have stuck with it.
Yes! Right. I remember seeing the original trailer.
Yeah, I posted it. I posted it before. I think I had it in the episode.
And it was like, that's like marketing gold for, especially with how they're trying to explain where he gets his power from and all this evil, like, that's perfect. And then they dropped it.
And it, gets the whole supernatural thing.
They dropped the 6 altogether, and it was just the Curse of Michael Myers at that point.
So, which version of the film did you like better?
I prefer the theatrical version.
I do too.
And I'll tell you why. And it's easy. And Rick already knows this. Michael Myers, you are not the father.
Yes. Oh God. Yes. Yeah. I totally. I wasn't even thinking about that when it came up. Like
That
another
whole
reason why
plot
it's so low.
line,
Come on, man.
that is just plain fucking stupid.
We can't have him. We can't have him having sex. Period. Let alone with his sister.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. That makes the least sense out of anything. Is this the thing that you liked least in the franchise that you were saying that you were going to come back to?
Oh no, no, because
that.
it doesn't count because it never happened.
Okay.
Because it's
okay.
not.
So, okay, so we're not there yet.
No. Oh no, we are.
We are.
My least favorite thing is part 5, how they fumbled the back.
Oh, okay, yeah. How they took the coolest. Oh, in part 5. Oh, I thought you were talking about in Resurrection where they ruined the coolest thing that ever happened in a Friday 13th movie, or I'm sorry, Halloween movie. But we'll get to that shortly. What are we on? 5?
Yeah.
All right. So my 5th was, and again, like Ethan, I had them higher, but I had all of the Blumhouse films in a row, and I had 18, Halloween 18.
Okay.
So your number 4, top 4 now.
My number 4 is
good.
Halloween 4.
Halloween 4.
Yeah.
Right on. And that was a good one, man, for sure. It'd been how long in between 4 and 1 or 2? So 81, 4 came out.
81, 88.
81, yeah. 88. So it'd been a while. Everybody wanted Michael back because everybody was mad about Halloween 3. So what was some of your favorite things about Halloween 4, Ethan? Since it's the first time it's come up.
I'm gonna go back to Danielle Harris, but obviously not for the
not
for the same reasons. She really is. I think she played the role very well. She spot on. She was excellent. She's such a cute little girl. Turned into a gorgeous woman, but
yeah.
It was. I think she did a phenomenal role there. I liked the dynamic of the sister. You know the sister. You know Rachel. She's not really. Yeah, Rachel, you're not really my sister. Well, yeah, I am. I love you. Yeah. Blood doesn't have anything to do with it. And how when push came to shove, she was like, "I'm gonna really protect you anyway." You know that. I really got sister vibes from that. That they were actually family and not just like a foster kid. So, and I think both of them played well.
This movie, unlike a lot of the movies, it really made sense. It had a complete thought. There wasn't a whole, we're taking stuff out and adding stuff in. And Danielle Harris was one of my first crushes ever, but not at this point of her career,
right?
When she was on Roseanne, but I am like close to the same age as her. I think she might be a year or two older than me.
She is like a year
46, 47.
Yeah, she's I think 45 or 46 somewhere.
I'm
45.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So she was like 10 in the movie.
Yeah, and she's awesome. And
another great thing about that movie is cops do it by the book.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, I hated the cops in part 5. I forgot about that in part 5. They sucked.
Gotcha.
I love the cops in part 5. They were the idiot cops, right? And they played the idiot music with them. They kind of like Last House on the Left.
Left though too. So there you
go. I loved it. Okay, that was one of my favorite parts of Last House on the Left. Especially in Last House on the Left, because the movie was so much more. Yeah, and then these guys like bumbling and just being stupid.
I went off on that movie long form. No need to never leave. But no, one of the coolest things about part 4 to me, and when we did keep mentioning our long form episode, go back in the archive, look at our Halloween part 4 review. I love the side characters in this. They're actually all people you can invest in and kind of care for. Usually in Friday the 13th, I think, in the movies where they actually put time into the character development of the side characters, like 4, 2, and like 6,
right?
You really like them.
Yeah.
Halloween never really did that much.
No.
You know, we got
you
the
had
three.
Jamie Lloyd, or you had Laurie
We have,
Strode.
we have the three girls in the original,
Mhm.
and they're all very likable. Some more than others. PJ Soul's the most. Sorry, but in part 4, all those side characters, like the cat from Days of Confused, is there, and he's messing around with the girl from the store, and just like it actually means something to the story.
Was you said the dude from? Oh yeah, the I know which guy from Dazed and Confused he was. Right on.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, one of the football players.
Yeah.
Wade.
Mm-hmm.
That was his name.
Yeah,
Fuck off, Wade.
Yeah, they're not just all shoehorned in just for the sake, you know. And what's her name? Rachel's little teeny bopper friend, and you know everything.
Yeah.
They're there for a reason, and
Right
it's actually kind of comforting because the Halloween movies after this they tried it in 6 a little bit. It didn't work. That's one of the things I didn't like about 6, but that's okay.
Yeah. Right on. So we're on your number 4, Ryan.
Yeah. And from here up, these are really good movies.
Yeah.
And I'm really surprised I have this the lowest. Well, Rick might have me tied. I don't know. I'm really surprised that I have this lowest because I thought, man, I like this movie a lot more than most people. Maybe I'm wrong, and that's Halloween H2O.
I also had it for.
Okay, so spoiler. There we go. We like the same.
And I really like this. It's a 5.8 on IMDb. $17 million budget, gross $55 million. And this is what, when you were saying the thing you hated the worst, is how they screwed up this perfect ending in this film. Part 5.
Yeah, that's true.
You know.
Yeah.
Or
you might be right.
Resurrection.
I went off on a tangent about this too.
Yeah, I think we even clipped that into a little reel and put it out there. I'm pretty sure
because I'm going to tell you. I don't know if Ethan saw it or not, but I'll just say it real quick. Yeah. If this H2O was the last movie they made in this franchise, and that
we would have been talking about all them horrible movies we've been talking about,
and that was the end, and then it's like a horror movie mic drop and credits.
Absolutely.
What better way to end a franchise than that?
Agreed.
And again, I rate this on that's the most recent thing I saw. I don't know Resurrection or anything else exists. This is 1998. I just walked out of the theater after watching this. Awesome.
And everybody's just standing ovation in the theater. It's a great
I saw this in the theater. I was 18 years old. I saw this in the theater. And usually in these slasher movies, let's be real, people always root for the killer.
Yep.
You know, we go to see that, you know. But man, when she fucking takes his head off, everybody was like, yes!
Yes.
It was amazing. I've never seen the baby face, the good guy, good girl, get over like that in a horror movie.
Yeah.
On the big bad guy. But it was perfect. And then they fucking ruined it. And then they gave this. You're right, Rick. This is worse. You're right, Rick. You're right. This is worse.
That is worse. It is worse.
It's the worst
thing in the history of the franchise.
Yeah. The whole explanation in Resurrection for how that didn't happen, get out of here.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
I mean, because you know, oh no, he couldn't talk. Take the mask off, dickhead.
Yeah,
and then she would recognize her brother and know who it was, and not kill the wrong guy. Yeah, no, come on, man.
His hands were obviously free. He's reaching out for her.
Yeah.
Hey, not him.
Right? Not me.
I did like the beginning of Resurrection though, like not that part where you know she gets killed, but that the loony in the loony bin, he's talking about all of the real killers. That's one thing I did like about Resurrection. And then the movie just went. It was like what's that? The Val Raven, right?
Oh
it went downhill like that. Straight 90 degrees, done. All right, so that was my number 4 as well. So what was your third favorite Halloween film?
My number 3 is H2O.
Good. Yep. So we all agree that was a good movie.
Absolutely,
because
it's going to make it one of the best. It's probably going to get it up to number 2 in the aggregate rankings.
Maybe. No, I like just about everything about this movie, except I didn't really care for Alan Arkin in that role. He just seemed kind of smarmy.
Okay.
But And I thought there was going to be some kind of thing with him where it turns out like that's just how like Weasley he seemed like on screen. Like he was going to have some secret motivation, like he really knows that's Laurie Strode all along.
Right. Since he's a psychiatrist, he'd want to get his head.
And that's I think the movie could have been a little bit better if they added that twist to it. It would have made sense too. And then it would have made his kill even more memorable because he was a greaseball, like kind of like Terry Kaiser and Friday Part 7.
Right.
You know, kind of like that kind of thing. But he's just there. And he's a great actor.
Yes.
Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah. Great show.
Oh, he was so good in it too. But yeah, I just didn't really care for his casting in that film. Kind of like Judy Greer in the Blumhouse movies.
Gotcha.
But good actors otherwise, but other than that, I loved H2O though. I do.
Yeah.
And so Ethan, I'm going to ask you something I asked Ryan when we reviewed that. Whose hair was worse, Courtney Cox in Scream 3 or Josh Hartnett in this?
At least Josh Hartnett could go, I'm a guy, I don't give a shit what it looks like. Courtney Cox should take a little pride. She's a woman. So
that in this movie, Josh Hartnett was still banging Mrs. Heath Ledger, so
right.
Yeah. And she was gorgeous in this.
Still is.
I didn't know that she was Mrs. Heath Ledger though until then.
And I love the fact that they brought Jamie Lee's mom on.
Oh yes, that was one of my favorites.
That was awesome.
And all of the Psycho tie-ins.
Yes, her standing in front of the car and stuff.
Yeah,
I love that.
Always awesome. Mark out for the car.
And there were a lot of little Easter eggs. You know,
yeah.
she has a line from Psycho, right? And then there was other things. And you really when they were on screen together, you really felt that, you know, the mother-daughter thing.
Oh,
there.
definitely.
And that role was actually supposed to go to PJ Souls. I don't know if you knew that.
No, I didn't know that.
I didn't know till we covered it and Rick mentioned it.
Yeah,
and I love PJ.
She was
Souls.
just too busy.
I do too.
She was too busy, so they went with yeah.
I'm glad she was busy that week.
Me too.
Yeah. Me too. Me too, because one of my favorite things about the film.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, because she had a name, her name in the movie, and I don't remember what it was, but her name was a throwback to. Everybody thinks it was a throwback to Psycho. Was her name Norma?
Shit, it might have been.
I think so.
And PJ Souls' character in Carrie was Norma, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was really a throwback to Carrie, not Psycho.
With her
I assumed because of who ended up playing her that it was a throwback, an Easter egg about Psycho.
That iconic redhead from Carrie.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of Jamie from Bloody Essentials says, "Oh, hey boys."
Hey Jamie.
I recognize the name, but not the face so much.
Right on. He's still giving her shit for missing out on the Cleveland trip with you guys.
Hey, at least I was nice, and
you guys all got together and went to Days of the Dead in Chicago. You seen that?
Nina was nice enough to talk me out of not sending the picture of the selfie of the two of us with the empty seat in between. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yes.
At least I'm not that mean.
So,
but I was mean enough to think of it though.
This guy. So where are we at? Let's get this train back on the tracks.
We're to number 3.
All right. She says something else. Hold on. She says we all need to hang out. Yes. We're gonna try to get to Chicago for some con in the future because I really want to go to Chicago for a couple other reasons.
Gotta go to Cubs game, dude.
Definitely a Cubs game. Jesus.
Yeah, I want to go back.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never been, and I would love to see that old stadium.
Awesome.
The ivy and all that good stuff, and then get a legit go to the Italian beef place from the show with the guy, the bear.
Bear.
Oh
yeah.
I like Lucky Sandwich Company right across the road there.
Yeah, we make a day out of it for sure. But so number 3, and it's on me.
That's on me.
On you. Okay. Top 3.
Top 3. And again, my 5 and 4 were tough because they were neck and neck. My 3 and 2 were also tough, and they're also neck and neck. But when it all boils down to it, my number 3 is going to be Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers.
Okay. That was also my number 3, so it'll make it a little easier.
I have a sinking feeling that your 2 and my 2 are not going to be the same.
You're definitely not. You're definitely not.
Nor Ethan's, because I'm pretty
Right.
sure what his are going to be point. But yeah, I like part 4. Everybody pretty much does. Again, same with 5. Like, have you ever met that guy that's like, I love Halloween 5 other than Tiki? No. Have you ever met anybody that goes, oh, I can't stand, I like Halloween, but oh, fuck part 4? Have you ever met that?
Nobody. Yeah.
I've never met anybody that says fuck part 4, but I know somebody who loves part 5. Nina.
Nina? Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't hate it.
Well, I have 2 angry text messages to send after.
And Jamie
was
says,
going to be 1.
Jamie says, yes, please. She'll go to a game. I'll be cheering for everything because I don't know how sports work. That's fine.
So that's okay.
Right
when I'm gonna beer.
We'll just drink.
Yeah,
so.
Right. And I'll drive.
There you go.
See, right when she's on my list, she has to pop in with a comment like that and totally redeem herself because that's freaking adorable.
Right.
But anyway, part 4 is my number 3.
All right. So we're on to your number 2?
Oh, real quick, part 4, since we all covered that.
Yeah.
Part 4, best ending, I think, other than.
Oh yeah. Oh, with the throwback part 1 beginning.
Yeah.
The Loomis reaction really cool. Too, like.
Yeah. And they should have just kept, feeding into that and whatever.
I think that reaction to that very last scene like that was the best piece of acting, other than maybe the little monologue he has with the cop in part 1. Might have been Donald Pleasant's acting performance was that little scene right there too, and that's saying a lot because he's so many good acting performances out of him.
Yeah, absolutely,
definitely.
Top 2.
My number 2 is Halloween 2.
Okay. Right on. So Halloween 2. What were some of your early memories of this? Did you see this in the theater? What do you really like about it?
I didn't see it in the theater because I was like 4.
Okay.
So I did see it at home, probably on like Showtime or something. I should not have been watching it at that time.
Absolutely.
But just Michael Myers, he was the boogeyman, and he's supposed to scare you. Well, that didn't happen because Halloween was, he never scared me. He was just like, I was like, at 5, I want to be like him. And my parents were like, maybe we should like reel this back a little bit. And I meant, not that I want to kill people, but I mean, I want to scare people. They're like, okay, that makes a little more sense. So, but yeah, no. My whole thing was seeing it on TV, and it's just part 2 when I was young, that did scare me.
Mm-hmm.
It scared the hell out of me. So,
right. No, yeah. I think Michael Myers is definitely more scary than Jason Voorhees, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I obviously like Friday the 13th better, but just like my son Ricky, who's 9, 10 years old, he's been watching these movies since before he could talk,
right.
And he's like, I've never been scared of a horror movie. So, and especially not Friday the 13th.
Right.
He's like, yeah, the Jason's never scared me, but that's his favorite too. He just really digs them. So we finally got a ranking in the comments. This is the Asylum Beyond the Dead's personal ranking. 13, Halloween Ends. 12, Halloween 5. 11, Halloween 3. 10, Rob Zombie Halloween 2. 9, Rob Zombie Halloween 1. 8, Halloween 2018. 7, Halloween H2O. And 6, Halloween, we're not sure because it got cut off. But maybe
right.
List in the comments in a second.
I was kind of digging it until it got cut off with Halloween. I sure hope that ain't 1978 in there.
Right?
But I have a sinking suspicion it's not. It just, I think that might have been 2018. That's maybe. My thing. But my number
2018 was number 8 on his list. So who knows? What? Maybe we'll get that. Like I said, maybe the Asylum Beyond the Dead will post the rest of their list and we'll get to that.
My number 2 is also Halloween 2 from 1981, but it's neck and neck with part 4. And I think JP Cross gets a pass because he'll be the first to admit he just likes bad movies.
He didn't like this bad movie.
Well, it's not
because it's not a bad movie.
Not a bad movie. That's why you didn't like it.
Yeah.
I can get not having this in your top 2 or 3, 4, even 5. But man, anybody that likes like Rob Zombie's Halloween better than this is fucking crazy.
Halloween 2. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 I like better than this. I did not. Rob Zombie's Halloween was last.
Halloween Ends better than this?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Ooh.
Crazy talk.
I told you it was going to be controversial.
It is crazy talk.
Ethan, I do the show with a madman.
But I get it.
Well,
I know you don't like this movie, Rick. I know you don't, but I just it sucks that I wasn't around to defend it when we covered it long term because I was too busy riding the Millennium Force. But you know, I had big plans.
All right, so the Asylum Beyond the Dead gives us the rest of his list. 6 was Halloween Kills. 5 is Halloween 4. 4 is Halloween Resurrection. Wow.
Oh.
Wow. 3 is Halloween 2. So he likes that a lot more than me. 2, he likes a theatrical cut Halloween 6 like you, Ryan. And obviously number 1 is Halloween 1978.
See, now, other than that Resurrection, if you knock that Resurrection down, I really like that guy's rankings.
I mean, you know, some people like what they like, and, you know, everything else made sense. I can't really rip it apart too much. It's just weird that we found the second guy that likes Halloween Resurrection. There's him and Tiki. That's it.
So, Rick, you're number 2, sir.
My number 2 is Halloween 3. It's one of my favorite movies. I love it. I had it. I graded it at, I think, a B plus, B or B plus. But again, Ryan made a great case, and I had to knock it down. There was some plot holes in there, 1 or 2. I don't remember exactly what they were now, but I was like, ugh. So I knocked it down to a C plus, I believe.
Well, there were the 3 major plot holes, and I'll just say the main one is at the end. Would she let him run rampant in that studio?
Yeah,
whatever. And
that was
then
the one that made me
drive away and get away in the car and then turn on him after he done all this shit against her and her people. Like the stupidest fucking shit ever.
And Asylum Beyond the Dead says, anyone here like Halloween Ends? I actually do. I had it ranked at number 6. And it was my second favorite of the Blumhouse films. I like Halloween 18 better, and then I like Kills less.
See, you guys both like Kills the least, and I liked it the most of those. I like Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 better than 2 other people on a show. A Rob Zombie movie I rank higher than 2 other people.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's insane.
What is wrong with me?
Well, obviously, everybody's favorite is Halloween 1978, which Ryan gives an 8 plus, says it's the greatest slasher ever made.
Yes.
I don't agree with that. I do think it's good. It's my if I ranked out of the 4 major franchises, Nightmare, Texas Chainsaw, Halloween, Friday the 13th, for me it's the fourth. It's the 4th out of those 4.
Crazy.
I like the other 3 way more, but that's just me. I gave it an A as well. I didn't give it an A plus like Ryan. It's easily the best one of these films. It's one of the greatest films of all time. It's not John Carpenter's best movie, but it's up there. And I don't know. So
I think it's John Carpenter's best movie.
You think it is his best movie?
I like it more than The Thing, but I love The Thing. I love The Thing.
Thing is I think The Thing is one of the greatest movies, regardless of genre.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an amazing film. But remember, we broke this down. We covered Halloween for him. Just what he did with no money, just this stripped down story.
Yep.
And just made it this good, this entertaining. It just, man.
And it's even less money when you realize that $150,000 of the $300,000 budget went to that camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so like, because he just really had to have this new cutting edge camera, the Panorama Vision, I believe it was called.
Yeah.
Asylum Beyond the Dead says Kills is his favorite in the trilogy. I dislike ends and how Michael Myers was mistreated, and I did not like that part of it. We did discuss that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Another Halloween Kills fan.
There you go.
Thought I was the only one.
Yeah.
I mean, not much needs to be said about 1978. That has it. To me, it is the quintessential slasher film.
Yes.
Everything. So many. It's the most copied of anything, but nobody's come close.
Mm-hmm.
It just, without that movie, there wouldn't be a Friday the 13th. There wouldn't be any of these long-standing slasher series.
Right.
Without it, even though other things are totally different. Obviously, Nightmare on Elm Street's its own thing, but
it was made because of all these other, horror movies that are cashing in on the low budget, make a lot of money movies. And he showed you that you could make a lot of money on these movies, and that's why like you said, that's why we had all these films. So Ryan says it's the greatest slasher of all time. Some people consider Psycho a slasher, and Ryan loves Alfred Hitchcock. So and he had a really hard time with this. If you consider Psycho a slasher, is it better than Psycho? Which movie would you grade higher?
I don't consider Psycho a slasher.
Thank you.
It's a great movie, but I don't consider it a slasher. So
it's a horror.
So which one?
Yeah, it's a horror movie. It's not, I don't consider it a slasher.
I think it's the original slasher myself, but
okay,
that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
And
Even if it was Halloween, is still better than that.
Okay, and that's fine. That's what Ryan ultimately went with too.
Yeah.
See,
he
said they were both A+, and they're separated by about yay much.
I agree.
It's like it depends on the day. It's like asking me to pick my favorite cat,
Yeah.
or your favorite. I don't have kids, but I would imagine.
I can pick my favorite.
Oh, Rick will pick kids.
Okay, it's easy. I can pick my favorite kid.
You got one though, right?
I only have one, so Josh is my favorite.
I got four, buddy. There's definitely a ranking, and it changes from time to time.
Yeah. I know who you have. I know who you have first, and I know who you have last. It's those two in the middle. I can't rank.
They flip flop. The two in the middle. They flip flop the most.
Yeah, I bet.
So he says he has an idea for ending Halloween Ends. In my version of Halloween Ends, Michael and Laurie would have brutal fought, and eventually Laurie Strode gets decapitated. I thought they should have killed each other. I think that would have been a much better, more poetic way.
Yeah,
I thought they should have just ended these after H2O.
Facts.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think it's a good thing that our other guest that was going to come on and rank these didn't show up, because we'd be doing a 3-hour show. Nevertheless, I had
we never go that long unless Mike Connors or Vincent DeSantis on with us.
Yeah, no doubt. So, damn, I had another point I wanted to make, and it was a good one too.
I want to do a show where we have Mike Connors interview Vincent DeSantis.
Yes, the whole time. It'd be awesome. And Jamie says yes, and I believe that's to H2O. It would have been better if that was the end, and I agree with that.
But yeah, Rick posed the question to me because I only do one A+ per subgenre. That's just my. There could be many A's, but only one A+. And for slasher films, Halloween 1978 is my A+. But he's just like, so you don't consider Psycho a slasher? I go, no, it's straight horror. Is like, is that your A+? I'm like, we probably won't review that long form because why everyone's done it. But yeah, okay, but yeah, that is the greatest straight horror movie ever made for me is 1960 Psycho. He's like, okay, which one is better? And I was like, you motherfucker. But it ultimately came down, and Alfred shot that. Alfred, like I knew him. Hitchcock shot that. Yeah, hey, that's my buddy Al, Big Al over there. He shot that movie for a big Hollywood movie at the time for like no money, and did it in black and white to save money, but also look cooler that way anyway.
Oh yes, I couldn't even picture it in color.
Oh, well,
yes, because they did it in 1995 or whenever.
Yeah, watch.
And that was terrible.
It was absolutely horrible.
And Gus Van Sant is a fantastic director. That was he made that way out of a protest. So It doesn't make it good. It still sucks, but that's why he's a fantastic director. Otherwise, but yeah, it came down to it, and I'm just like, yeah, Hitchcock did that for nothing, but. The dude had Academy Award-winning and nominated actors in that film. Bernard Herrmann doing the score for free, like all these hookups. Yeah, like all this going for him.
Where Carpenter didn't have any of that at that time.
No,
Hitchcock is my favorite director of all time, but like he woke up on third base. He woke up on third base when he went to make that film. Carpenter had nothing.
Right on.
Nothing. And for me, as iconic as that Psycho score is, it's Bernard Herrmann at his best. That Halloween score from 78 is it's probably my favorite score from any movie, not just horror or slasher. It's
Right.
the greatest music made for film ever. And that was like my tiebreaker because I'm the music guy. So
Yeah. So on that note, we've been going for like ever tonight. We've been going forever. So we usually go an hour. We've been going an hour and a half. So we're going to wrap this up. But I want to thank you so much, Ethan, for coming up on to join us to rank these movies. It was a great time having you. Check out Ethan on the Bloody Essentials podcast. Follow them on Facebook, all the socials, YouTube, iTunes. They debut their episodes every Wednesday morning, I think it is, right?
That's correct.
Wednesday morning? They
Yes.
listen to this? Oh, yeah. They listen to this.
they get them up early, man. It's usually there when I wake up.
Yeah, oh yeah. And I get up about 5 o'clock to go do lift, and it's there, and I got something to listen to before I go to my real job. So I definitely enjoy that. And they have a Patreon. You could go on their Patreon and help them out with some things. There's some cool tiers that they do. I'm a Patreon, and I do have access to the episodes early, but I don't usually use it because I like to listen on Wednesday morning, like I said. But for some of the video episodes, I watch them on the Patreon, so that way I can put comments into, and it's fun. But check them out on all the socials, iTunes, all that good stuff. And Ryan, you got anything else you want to add?
No, thanks for coming on, Ethan. Appreciate it. We've had to get you in here somehow.
Yes.
I appreciate you guys having me on. Always a good time.
Yeah, definitely. Rick's I'm like, let's bring them on for Halloween. It's perfect.
Oh yeah, we
awesome.
decided that right after your podcast started. Actually, before
Nice.
we even started reviewing these, I was like, that'll be our angle to get Ethan on, and we knew we was going to get Jamie on and Ryan missed that show because he was at work, but for a Giallo episode,
Right.
and Nina was already on before that, before you guys had the podcast.
Yep.
The podcast was in development at that point.
That's right. That was
Yes.
before they launched Bloody Essentials. That's right.
Yeah, it was right before.
Right as they were doing it.
Yeah. Because we were trying to when the Dolls of Horror podcast broke up, I reached out to her to get her as our third person, but she had already started the thing with you guys.
Yeah,
yeah, I did try to poach her. So
that's okay. That's okay. We got her. No.
But yeah, so again, the podcast is awesome. Check them out. They do great stuff. They have a lot of vendors from different cons on talking about the stuff they do, independent directors, and just real cool people that other podcasts don't necessarily think to talk about, and you get really good stories. Recently you had the one podcast you did recently that I really enjoyed was oh my God, I forget her name, but the girl that was deaf and blind.
Yeah.
And it was a video only episode.
Okay, horror nerd. Yeah.
Video. And it was really, really cool seeing her take on things. And what was her name?
LK Horror Nerd.
LK Horror Nerd, absolutely. Well, I follow her on YouTube now. Yeah. But yeah, so they think outside the box, and it's really cool stuff. So definitely check them out. And so on that note,
yeah. Can you imagine that though, Ethan? If you would have got Nina on here, I would have been on here with both. They would have killed me by now between the two.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah. I'd have been dead. So it probably worked out better for everyone.
Yes.
Well, see, I knew she knew how to do the editing thing that I don't know how to do. So
and when you guys do come to Chicago,
yeah,
we'll all hang out and maybe we can do a live bloody enchilada podcast.
Yeah,
with everybody together. So
enchilada rojas then, red sauce.
Exactly.
There you go. Yeah. But on that note, we are going to get the hell out of here. And no, he's saying no. What's up? Oh, he just left.
He was like, good night.
All right. Okay. Well, again, thanks for coming on. I am going to get out of here for real. And I don't know what we're doing next week, but follow the page and check it out. We are like 2 or 3 subscribers away from giving away one of Ryan's masks. And it's not these ones that are back here. It's actually one of the real good hockey masks. These are the cheaper ones that he sells for $50, which reach out to the page. You can buy one of those. But we're going to be giving away the ones that usually go for about $150 to $200. And I don't have one handy that I can point to. I have 2 of them, but they're just not around right now. But 3 followers away. Once we hit 666, we're going to give away those. But thanks again, man. I'm going to get out of here, and I will talk to you later. And, yeah, check out the page, see what we're doing next week. All right, guys?
All right,
have a good day.
What can I do?